How jolly.
I must be a very attractive man.
Indeed. Well, not that I'm denying it, but what has it to do with what I just said?
You said, how jolly. I look round at this rotten old inn, trying to pretend it's a riverside hotel. We've just had a horrible meal of tomato tea called soup, the remains of Sunday's joint, sprouts, potatoes, apple tart, and stale American synthetic cheese. If you can suffer this and say, how jolly, there must be some irresistible attraction present, and I can see nothing that is not utterly repulsive, except myself.
Don't you like these old world places? I do.
I don't. They ought all to be rooted up, pulled down, burnt to the ground. Your flat on the embankment in London costs more to furnish than this place did to build from the cellar to the roof. You can get a decent lunch there, perfectly served by a word through the telephone. Your luxurious car will whisk you out to one of a dozen hotels in lovely scenery, and yet you choose this filthy old inn and say, how jolly. What is the use of being a millionairess on such terms?
When I was first let loose on the world with unlimited money, do you know how long it took me to get tired of shopping and sick of the luxuries you think so much of? About a fortnight. My father, when he had £100 million, travelled third class and never spent more than 10 shillings a day on himself, unless he was entertaining people who were useful to him. Why should he? He couldn't eat more than anybody else. He couldn't drink more than anybody else. He couldn't wear more than anybody else. Neither can I.
Then why do you love money and hate spending it?
Because money is power. Money is security. Money is freedom.
To me, money is a vulgar bore and a soul-destroying worry. I need it, of course, but I don't like it. I never think of it when I can possibly help it.
If you don't think about money, what do you think about? Women?
Yes, of course, but not exclusively.
Food?
Well, I am not always thinking about my food, but I am rather particular about it. I confess I look forward to a better lunch than that.
Oh, so that is what has put you out of temper.
I am not out of temper, I hope. But you promised me a very special treat, Epiphania. You said you'd found a wonderful place on the river where we could be ourselves and enjoy a delightful cottage meal in primitive surroundings. Where is the charm of this dismal hole? Have you ever eaten a viler lunch? There is not even a private sitting room. Anyone could walk in here at any moment. I used to be much more comfortable at Richmond or Maidenhead. And I believe it is raining.
Well, is that my fault?
It completes your notion of a happy day on the river. Why is it that the people who know how to enjoy themselves never have any money, and the people who have money never know how to enjoy themselves?
You're not making yourself very agreeable, Adrian.
You are not entertaining me very munificently, Epiphania. Oh, for heaven's sake, let's get into the car and drive about the country. It's much more luxurious than this hideous coffee room, and more private.
I'm tired of my car.
I am not. I wish I could afford one like it.
I thought you would enjoy sitting in this crazy, out-of-the-way place talking to me. But I find you're nothing but a spoiled old bachelor. You think about nothing but your food and your little comforts. You're worse than Alistair. At least he could talk about tennis and boxing.
And you can talk about nothing but money.
And you think money uninteresting. Oh, you should have known my father.
I am very glad I did not.
What did you say?
My dear Epiphania, if we are to remain friends, I may as well be perfectly frank with you. Everything you've told me about your father convinces me that he was no doubt an affectionate parent and amiable enough to explain your somewhat tiresome father fixation, as Dr. Freud would call it. He must have been quite the most appalling bore ever to devastate even a Rotary Club.
My father. My father, you infinite nothingness. My father made £150 million. You never even made £500,000.
My good girl, your father never made anything. I have not the slightest notion of how he contrived to get a legal claim on so much of what other people made.
You rotten thing! Take that for calling my father!
Restrain yourself! You might have hurt me very seriously.
I shall hurt you till you wish yourself dead! Scum! Filth!
Police! Help!
out! You've killed me.